miniskirt. Who knew they made them in midget sizes? On her feet were what could only be described as white hooker boots. Her hair today was short and curly and pink, no doubt due to the efforts of his half-sister Charmaine, who ran a hoity-toity beauty spa over in Homa, Looks to Kill, as well as a regular hair salon, Cuts and Curls, in Lafayette. Uncertain whether the pink color was in honor of his birthday or an accident, he decided not to ask. Despite her age and always outrageous appearance, his aunt's services as a noted traiteur or healer were still needed up and down the swamplands. Unfortunately, of late, she believed that he was the one most in need of her care. If he could have, he would have fled. But where could a 6'2" ex-Air Force officer hide in a houseboat? Besides, he couldn't ever be rude to his aunt, who was dear to him. "Tante Lulu, welcome, chère, welcome." He stood and emptied his mug into the sink, then took the cake from her, placing it on the table. On its white iced top, mixed in with the 33 candles, was the message, "Happy Birthday, Remy," in bright blue letters. Typical sentiment. But in the corners stood 4 tiny plastic statues of St. Jude, the patron saint of hopeless cases. St. Jude was a favorite of Tante Lulu. He almost asked her what his birthday and hopeless cases had in common, but he caught himself just in time. She kissed him on the cheek then, which involved her standing on tiptoes and his leaning down. And wasn't it just like his aunt to kiss his bad cheek, the one so disfigured by that copter crash in Desert Storm 12 years ago? Most people would at least flinch. She didn't even blink.
"Did you think I'd let you stay here alone like a hermit on your special day? Bad business, that, being alone so much. Lost your joie de vivre, you have. Never fear, I have a feeling this is gonna be your year for love. What's that smell? Pooh-wee! Stinks like burnt okra."
He plopped back down to the bench seat and watched his aunt sniff the coffee in his pot, wrinkle her nose, then dump the contents down his sink. Within seconds, a fresh pot perked on the stove. "Tante Lulu, this is not my year for love. Don't you be starting on me. I am not interested in love."
"Hanky-panky, that's all you men folks are interested in. I may be 70, but I ain't blind."
"More like 80, sweet pea," he reminded her. "And don't for 1 minute think I'm going to discuss hanky-panky with you."
"Not to worry, though, sweetie,"
his aunt rambled on.
"I got time to concentrate on you now. I'm gonna find you a wife, guaranteed. Love don't ask you if you're ready. It just comes like a thunderbolt."
"Over my dead body," he vowed silently. "That's nice." He decided to change the subject. "How did you get here?"
"T. John drove me in his daddy's pickup truck."
His aunt was bent over now, and, yes, he'd been right about her having no behind anymore. She was trying to shove off to the side the saddle he'd left in the middle of the room, a reminder of his ranching days. But then his aunt's words hit him belatedly, like a sledgehammer. "T. John? Mon Dieu, Tante Lulu! He's only 14 years old. He doesn't have a license." T. John was his half-brother, the youngest of many children, legitimate and otherwise, born to Valcour LeDeux, their common father. His aunt shrugged.
"My T-bird's in the shop. This place, she needs some light. Maybe you ought to install a skylight. It's so dark and dreary. No wonder you're always so grumpy."
"A skylight in a houseboat that's as old as I am?" "About your car?" he asked grumpily. Now she was checking out the mail on his desk.
"Someone stole the spark plugs. Can you imagine that?"
Yeah, he could imagine that. It was probably one of his brothers trying to keep their aunt off the highways. "Where is the brat?"
"Outside playing with that pet alligator of yours, I reckon. You ought to get yourself a wife. A man your age should be petting his woman, not..."